Alright guys, welcome back to Wild Outdoor Living. I'm bringing you a video that you guys have been asking for, some of you quite severely, and that is the long-term review bike check of the Trek 920. So 2 years ago this year, actually upcoming this July, I got my Trek 920. I made a quick video about it, and it's actually probably the video you could credit with getting this channel moving. Still a small channel, but that video actually got some views. And so a lot of you guys watched that video, it commented. I was super stoked when it hit like 7,000 views. I think it's now at almost 40,000 views. And that video is super feature rich. I talk about like every single part. It's not the most exciting video, but I will leave a link to it in the description. If you haven't seen that one, there's definitely more spec commentary in that video. Today we're just going to talk about what I think about the bike since I've had it. So first up, things that I still really love. The Trek 920 is really stable. It is great off-road. You can basically take this bike anywhere you could take any other hardtail mountain bike. I've actually set some Strava PRs on it on trails that I had previously ridden really hard back on my old Superfly. So obviously I've improved since then. That's really where the PR is coming from, but it just goes to show that even on a single track trail, this bike can definitely hold its own. It does just fine. And honestly, I've cleared obstacles on trails that I couldn't clear 2 or 3 years ago. Again, that comes down to my own riding progression, but it just shows me that, yeah, the bike can do whatever you want it to. It's just really all about the rider. The bike isn't going to hold you back on single track, super stable at high speeds on gravel roads. It's actually pretty quick on paved roads as well. I still love the fact that I can kind of load it up however I want to. It's got bosses for days, tons of bottle cage mounts, both on the main triangle and on the fork. That really helps with just giving you options, and it's great for pulling the kids around because it's so stable, and it just has a really comfortable fit. I like using it for touring. I like using it for commuting. I like taking it on road rides. I like taking it on the gravel rides, and I have a ton of plans for it in the future. It's just a really versatile bike that I feel like I can keep around for a long time. Even after doing fully loaded tours and pulling the kids around with their 135-pound setup rig, you know, it's actually, the frame is held up just fine. I haven't had really any mechanical issues. I do weigh like 150, 160 pounds, so I'm not pushing the bike that hard on a day-to-day basis, but when I have, it's done just fine. It's really proven to be a strong bike. If I only had one bike, if I couldn't have any other bikes, I would still pick this one. Things that I have changed. So originally I had SPD pedals on here. Obviously the 920 does not come with pedals, so I chose the SPDs originally. I've since gone away from SPDs. There's actually a few videos explaining why. And I'm running the Race Face Chester pedals. I double wrapped the bars, so I have the original bar tape on there, but I wrapped over it with lizard skins. Yes, there's a small gap. No, I don't care. And it makes the hands just a little bit more comfortable. It's a little bit softer ride, and it makes the bar a little bit bigger as well, which I find more comfortable. I also think the brown looks pretty cool with this paint job. Just kind of goes with the theme. The other thing I changed out was the saddle. The saddle broke down pretty quickly, became a little bit uncomfortable for me, and so I went with the Brooks saddle. I'll have to do a full review on that one. I think it looks really cool with this bike. It took a lot of fiddling to get it to where it was comfortable for me, so it's kind of in the perfect position. And otherwise, I really haven't changed anything. There are a ton of different ways you could spec out this frame. The wheels could be lighter. You could put on a 1x drivetrain and do an 11 to 42 in the back, or 10 to 42 or whatever. And you could put more carbon on it, and it can actually be pretty light. I've seen some 920s down at 20 pounds. This bike here I think weighs 25. I actually pulled the racks off a few months ago just to see how it would feel. I'm going to be using this bike in the Tusher and the Crusher race coming up in July, and so I pulled those off. I've been doing more training on it. I'm using more soft bags this year. I just don't feel like I need the painters as much. I do not have a proper frame bag for this bike. That is because the main triangle is huge. I have a frame bag that fits on my stash. You guys have seen it. It also goes on the fat bike, and it fits on Sleece's 920 as well, but this 58 centimeter needs like a whole different size bag. So I'm working on getting a hold of one of those, but my other bike packing bags work great with it, and so I use that a lot of the time, to be honest. It's just the truth. The racks were great for getting pizzas when people would come over. Sometimes we would even just like strap a box on the rack and just go get a pie. That was super fun, and I may put the rack on just for that purpose, but right now it's off. The bike is light, it's lively, it's quick, and it's way smooth. This is one of those bikes that I feel like you don't want to change much on it. Like, it's great, But when you have one for a while, you end up thinking, what would it be like if it was in carbon? Or maybe can I have one in titanium? Or yeah, I'd like one in steel as well. So this is just one of those bikes that makes you want more bikes. I'm not sure what the deal is. And yeah, it's just one of my favorite bikes. I will maintain that I think the Stash fits better. For some reason, that bike fits me like a glove. The 920, I definitely had to make adjustments and get things set up right. But once you do, I mean, this is how most bikes go. You have to adjust them, right? Once you do though, man, like it's definitely one of my favorite bikes of all time. And I wish they had built them like 10 years ago. So yeah, that's my bike. I love it. And we'll catch you later.